Morning traders, welcome to Trading Together. I am Mel Gacee. Today is Monday, March the 16th. Wow, it's a Monday, guys. I'm feeling it. Welcome, everybody. If you're here and you haven't said hi, please drop your name and your hi in the chat. This is a friendly, interactive place. This is a place for traders of all levels to come. We can share ideas together. We learn together. I especially love helping new traders. So do not have any kind of newbie questions, all of them. So jump right in there with your here because I love the idea of trading with my friends and not trading by myself. Trading is a lonely world, I'll tell you that. All right, Emerald Plumber is here. Good morning, and BD is here. Good morning, sir. I hope that's sir. Forgive me if it's not. Dana is here. Good morning, and Gavilan. Good morning, guys. Thanks so much for saying hi. I sure do appreciate it. All right, let's take a look at what we've got going on here. I happen to be sitting here on the daily chart, just kind of analyzing where do I think this market is going. So let's take a look here at this candle that we are forming on the daily. BD, right? Okay. Thank you, BD. I do not want to offend anybody. So you all just let me know because I can only guess so much by your handles here. So I do my best to try to guess who you are and try to get to know you. So I appreciate you being patient with me here. All right. Let's take a look at this candle. So here is today's candle. It doesn't look as impressive as it are up 1 full percentage point from Friday's close. Now, let's take a look. This candle here is not looking so impressive, but when you compare it to Friday's close, look at that. We closed way down here at 662. We opened with a nice gap up, so you can see the open is right here on this candle. And then we pushed it up almost to Friday's high, but this is important. Are we going to beat Friday's high? That is a crucial level for the bulls to get through today. It's got a lot of psychological meaning. You will see that the current market movement has a lot to do with what happened at yesterday's open and yesterday's close. And of course, it's not talking in generalities. It's very important. The market pays attention to these closes and opens. All right, Craig is here. Good morning. And Jeff is here. And so is Val. Thank you guys so much. Was in Friday's chat. Oops. Okay. Speaking of Friday, I want to be always transparent here. I am open with my wins as well as my losses. So we did take a trade on Friday. And that was a call. We were Friday, as you recall, we had this little fake move to the upside, and then the rest of the day really dumped. We were in a call. I was in a call. And right before I left the stream, I gave you my parameters for getting out. I said, I'm going to get out at the top of this candle, or I'm going to get out when it breaks down here for the loss. So what happened is we did get a run up almost to the top of that previous candle. I jumped out with a 13% loss. I'm totally good with that. I take losses every day. So I did take that loss. I still closed really well above what I needed to on Friday. I continued to trade mostly puts the rest of the day and did really well with that. Hopefully you guys all did well and understood my levels and were able to get out with a very small loss like I did. Hopefully that's the way that happened for you. All right. We are getting another little move down here. I do want to pay attention to this. I want to finish this daily analysis, but I am seeing some movement down here. So let's make sure we're not missing any put. But what's going on here is we are testing the overnight. What I just said, these overnight highs and lows, these previous day highs and lows, these matter. Right now, this is the level we're testing. I'm looking at it on the daily chart, so it might not look as clear as it does when we're on the minute chart. But this yellow line is last night's overnight high. And if you notice, take a look, where's it sitting? It's sitting right on Friday's open, right? This right here is Friday's open. So what bulls need to do is get up here and beat the high of Friday. They tried and they got a hard rejection. At this point, doesn't mean they won't come back up, but at this point, there's a hard rejection here. So look at this candle, not healthy. This is not strong buying. I'm not saying it won't change. I'm not saying we can't scream upward, but right now, this daily candle is weak. It's not looking good. So let me jump over here to our minute chart. Don't want to miss this trade here. It does look like a put. I am going to load puts at the 668 level. 669. And we are certainly building volume there. We did not have that volume earlier today, this morning. We are getting it now. Not too much movement here. We do have a swing low right here that I am aware of, 667.7. MACD is trying to roll over, but just barely, not quite making it yet. This candle is almost done. Candle done. Let's see what we get here. Okay. Little bounce here. This is a little bit tricky because they're trying to defend this overnight high, the bulls and the bears. The bulls want to push up over it, which we did at the open. Then we pulled down under it. Now we pulled over it, but it was a look above and fail. Right now, bulls want to get back up over that. So this is a little bit of a tricky trade here. We're kind of right in between this swing low and this swing high. Could you read the time? Certainly, Craig. Absolutely. It is 11:08 and 56 seconds Eastern. Let me know, Craig, what your delay is. Most streaming platforms have a small delay. I believe the YouTube stream hovers around 3 seconds, which I think is completely acceptable. You got 6. Okay. 6 is, it's okay, but I think last time we tested this, we were at 3. So I don't know, Craig, if maybe refreshing your browser, see if that makes any difference at all. I'm curious. All right, here we go. Bulls holding the overnight high. And Gavilan has 5 seconds. Thank you, Gavilan. I appreciate that. When you guys tell me that, it helps me when I'm giving you guys a trade. It does help me to know how far behind we're getting. All right. BD says, looking at the NQ, it's odd that price stopped at a round number, 24,980. Gives me pause for a put on the put side. Also, price is above the 5-minute open. Thank you very much, BD. Let's see where we are on this SPX or the SPY. We are above the open as well on the SPY, BD. What we're getting here is just this little tug of war going on at the VWAP, at the overnight high. It's not making up its mind just yet. But thank you for your observation, BD. It's a good observation. I do also like to look at the cues as it relates to the SPY. Sometimes the cues are leading us, and let's see what happens here. The cues are up 1.08%. We are up 0.99. So they are a little bit ahead of us in terms of percentage gains. This MACD is wanting to roll over here, but not quite giving us a strong move. go. A little bit of volume coming in on this candle. Like I said, we do have a swing low right here that I'm aware of at 667.7. So I'm watching out, and we are building a little short-term, well, we were trying to build a little short-term bottom here. Let's see. But with this market, it could drop like a rock. There's a little weakness going on, BD. All right. Dana would like the time again. Figured out where it's located. You bet, Dana. I'm looking at 11 o'clock with 12 minutes and 32 seconds Eastern. I'm going to give this little battle some time. Even if we get a drop here, we've only got a few points to this swing low. So I'm going to be a little careful here. The MACD is red, but the bars are small, meaning we're not getting a lot of momentum. Obviously, we can see it. We don't have momentum to the downside. We're getting sideways. So we need to see, are they going to try to recover this overnight high and continue up? Are we going to drop, or are we just going to go sideways? Those are usually our only three options for direction in the market. Right now, for the last 10 minutes or so, we are moving sideways. So we'll keep an eye on that. We are also, it's noteworthy that we are also sitting on a resistance turned support on the VIX right here at 24. So hello. So the VIX is, sorry, my grandkids are here, so my puppy is happy to see them. Hi, kiddos. Okay, here's a little, all right, there's a little push right up through our overnight high. And it's also a push up through our VWAP. So this white line right here is our VWAP. This yellow line is, of course, the overnight high. So we'll see. I may pivot over to calls here. Let's watch. We've got a swing high here at 669.8. No trades. Missed my entry while getting coffee. Oh, sorry, BD. Sorry to hear that. Bless you. All right, still looking a bit sideways to me, so I'm going to hang on here. Let's see if we beat this swing high right here at 669.8 or this swing low here at 667.7. In the meantime, I might just wait a minute and see if we're just going to range here. All right. So in the meantime, let's take a look at our leaderboard and see where the leadership is coming from. And it's really nothing more than my watch list. I like to call it the leaderboard, but it's nothing more than my watch list. And what I'm watching on my watch list is all four of the indices. So I'm watching the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, the Russell, and the Dow. I watch all of those guys, and I watch their ETFs, and I watch their futures. I also watch the Magnificent Seven. Those are the big, mega, titan tech stocks, the AI stocks, right? NVIDIA, Tesla, those are the big two. We've got Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Meta, Google, all those guys really holding up the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. So what they do, usually we do. So I do keep an eye on all of those. I have all of those on my watch list. I also have the ETF named MAGS, MAGS. That's a way that I keep track of what the MAGs are doing as a whole, as a group, all bundled together in this ETF. So right now, in terms of leadership, we have Meta is really at the top right now in terms of the tech stocks. Meta is leading. Well, it's switching off with NVIDIA. NVIDIA is sitting at 2.3% up. Meta is sitting at 2.3% up as well. Tesla sitting at 2.1% up. Broadcom at 2%. Apple at 1.3%. Amazon at 0.7%. Google at 0.4%. The MAGs as a whole are sitting at 1.5% up. So we're a bit behind most of these guys. We're behind the Qs as well. So in terms of indices, we've got the NASDAQ sitting at 1.2% up. We are actually Russell leading the crew at 1.3% up, then the Qs at 1.2% up. All right, we're getting a push up through the VWAP here. I am going to pivot over to calls. We could still be running sideways, so be prepared. I could pivot a couple more times, but I'm going to pivot over to 669 calls. Doesn't mean I'm going to take it. We're still sideways here, so I'm just watching. However, we do have significant volume sitting at the 670 strikes on the call side. All right, building a little break of the VWAP here. A little drop on the VIX. Got rejected down under this resistance line. Oil down today, that's nice. Still pretty elevated. We've got light sweet crude sitting at 95, so that's still pretty elevated. But it's down from where it's been, so that's good. The longer oil stays elevated, the weaker this market is going to be. And with all of the conflict in Iran, we can expect it to stay elevated for a while. That's a big part of what this weakness is all about. All right, getting a little push here. We're just over the VWAP, just over that overnight high. Like I said, we've got a swing high right here at 669.8. We're right there at it. I'm not going to take a trade, I don't think, to the upside until I see a nice beat of this top. Right now it's rangy, and that's what I'm paying attention to, is this range. I don't like to trade ranges unless they're big ranges. These tiny ranges are kryptonite to the day trader. Trust me. Trust me. I'd rather miss an entry than get stuck in chop any day of the week. All right, little push here, almost at the top. We'll take a quick look at the Qs side by side. My guess is they're going to look real similar. Yeah, looking pretty similar. They usually do. They usually follow each other. So the rise on the Qs with a fall starting at 1026. Right here, rise on the SPY starting with a fall at 1026. We bottom out at 1050. Bottom out at 1050. See how they follow each other? So the Q's actually making a little higher high here. We haven't done that yet on the SPY. There, it looks like it could be pushing it right now. Tiny, tiny little candles, descending volume. This usually tells us the story of sideways motion. I want to see a strong beat of this swing high right here. And that's where we're sitting right this minute. Tiny little push through it. We could consider calls here. Again, I do have 669s loaded. We could also load 670s. They're a little cheaper. All right, that was a little pop through here. Beat that top just by a hair. Let's take a look at the volume real quick. BD is in a put at 180, out at 208. A put? When did, we've kind of been climbing. When did you take it, BD? Great job. Great, great trade there. My bad. A call. I'm with you. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. And we are beating this top here. So the move could be a little bit old. It's been, you know, we rolled over on the MACD a while ago, but I wouldn't take it until we beat this top. Now, we are beating the top, but the move is a little old, so it still remains a risky call for me. $1.2 up, 2.5. Saw it holding at 179. Call it 669. Gotcha, gotcha. It was holding 669. Yep, for sure it was. And that's that overnight high right here where I have my yellow line. Great trade, BD. Glad you made some money on that. All right. Little teeny slowdown here. 670. Not clean, very choppy. I'm with you, BD. It feels choppy to me as well. I don't like the tiny candles. We are not really going anywhere very fast. Sitting basically in a bit of a sideways movement. I am open to puts here if we start to roll over. Remember, though, we've got this low right below the overnight high, so I've got to be careful here as well. Let's see if we get a rollover or another turn and move up. I'm going to take a quick look at the mags. Same chart, of course. Mags making, you can see it a little more clearly on the mags, making a bit of a wonky W here. See it? That is a bullish pattern. It's basically also known as a double bottom. So we've got a double bottom right here on the mags. That is bullish. You can't see it quite as clearly on the SPY. You certainly do see it here. VIX dropping for us right now, meaning usually when the VIX drops, the market goes up. Let's take a quick look at NVIDIA. Yeah, NVIDIA looking a little bit more like we look, although this climb was stronger. NVIDIA got real close to its high of day. We're a little bit off still of our high of day. NVIDIA looking like it wants to round over just a bit here. Freaky Turkey is here. Good morning. Got 6% on the push above the previous high. Nice, Freaky. Nice. That was a quick trade then for you because that little push was teeny. Great job there. Held the VWAP from the high of day. Yep, the high. So we have not reached the high of day yet, but we are over the VWAP at this point. So great job, Freaky. Glad you made some money there. Oh, you're using an anchored VWAP. I gotcha. Very nice. All right, looking a bit like it's slowing down here. What we do see is a bit of an inverse head and shoulders, don't we? Here's the head, shoulder, shoulder. Inverse head and shoulders is exactly what it sounds like. It's the opposite of the head and shoulders, which is a bearish pattern. The inverse head and shoulders is a bullish pattern. And you do see that play out, right? So you see the head here, you see the shoulder, and then you see that push. This is on NVIDIA, is what I'm looking at. And NVIDIA came right up to this high. Do you see it? Right here. And then is giving a reverse. So on NVIDIA, it's looking like a double top. Based on that, I might trade some down signals here. Let's see what we get. I want to look at Bitcoin just for the heck of it. Here's our chart on Bitcoin. A little bit different, isn't it? Bitcoin's starting to decouple a bit. It was kind of flowing with the markets there for a while, and now it seems to me like it's decoupling a bit. It's holding the 5-minute range we were just in. Oh, okay, thank you, BD. I do see that. All right, so Bitcoin down, up, double top on Bitcoin, down move, and then a pull up. Bitcoin looking like it wants to continue up. All right, here, all right. This I might like here for a call. Let me see how far we are from the top. 670.3 to 671. I think we've got enough room here. I am going to load calls at the 670 level. Not in them just yet. This is a bit of a extended move. It's a little bit extended here. And here's our, you can see the wonky W a little bit more clearly now. We've got some room to hit the recent high right up here. And just tiny moves here. These are the ones that are really hard to trade. These tiny moves, you have to hold them for quite a while to make any money on them. VIX's still looking sad. And I am looking at, like I said, the 671. No, I have 670s. I need to get 671s. 671 call. It's a little extended. Yeah, I think I'll wait on it. I'm going to wait on the call. It's feeling just a bit too extended. Feeling a little roundy right here. It could jump back up and hit this high and keep going. That is possible. But because it's been going, this move has been going, I'm going to wait. Wants to round over. Let's see. See if we get that. Maybe they just do that slow. It happened too, but I'm okay with that because so we do have volume overhead here, the 671 and the 672 call. So that is something to bear. $67, 18 to 20 is an overhead support turned resistance. I'll show you that on the S chart. Of sell pressure in the volume. Yeah, I would agree with you, Freaky, for sure. BD got out with a loss. I'm sorry, BD. What were you in? No, I'm just not going to do it. I think we could come higher, but I'm not going to take, it's just too extended for me. I don't want to do it. Small loss still up. Okay, what were you in, BD? Did you take a put maybe? I'm glad you're still up. Out at 156. Okay. And thanks for sharing your losses. Not everybody does that, but I think it's really helpful for other traders to see us taking our stops. I think that's really important, very helpful. All right, so what I'm waiting for here, a call at 670. Okay. Yeah, and so that's a really good example, BD, of how calls, even though you can sort of see this upward movement, that the candles were very tiny and choppy, and that is one of the challenges of trying to trade when they're moving it so slowly like this. So thank you for sharing that, BD, because you could look at this chart and think, oh yeah, you made money on that. But no, it's actually moving very slowly, very choppy. And I don't know if anybody else has noticed this. I have had major slippage today. Every single trade I've taken today has given me slippage of at least 3%. So very, very frustrating, but those are the types of days. These are those types of days, and that's frustrating. All right, Val took the call and made $4. Okay, Val, nicely done. All right, the slow chips on Vega are pretty steady. Okay. I have not been looking at Vega. I don't track Vega, but it is Vega is run basically one of the Greeks, and it kind of measures volatility. So usually when we see volatility shrink, like we're seeing it right now, we also see premiums shrink with it, and this will it will really cut into your profits. So as volatility shrinks, as the VIX comes down, your profits will shrink as well. The premiums change, right? And they don't pay you. Okay, I'm getting ready here for a possible put. Let's see what we get. We didn't quite hit this high, but let's see. We get a little round over here on the MACD. I am going to load 671 puts. Not in them. Nice little reversal candle here. Let's see. Let's see if it continues down. VIX giving us a tiny little pop, just a tiny one, nothing major. I kind of like the puts here, but I'm not in yet. VIX gave us a tiny bounce. MACD rolled. Really low volume. Yes, so BD, you are charting the option, which I love doing. I think it really gives you a great perspective. And so good for you on that. All right, we're holding the 21. That's this yellow line right here. Let's see if we can break it. Hatman, hello. Thank you for saying hi. I appreciate you. And if you are new, welcome, welcome. Thank you for saying hi. I do appreciate it. All right, I'm looking at puts here, watching how we're treating this 21 moving average. That's the yellow line. There's a little break. Hard to tell if it's going to give us a drop of any magnitude. All right, I'm going to go ahead and try this put. It's a small trade. I'm not going to stay in long or overstay my welcome. All day today, I've been taking little mini wins, and it is frustrating, but it will work. All right, up about 4% here. I'm going to take it. Oh, that's 7. I'm out. Punch it. All right. In at 181, out at 195 for 14. So just under 10%. I'm going to do a little mental math and call that 7 or 8%. Hopefully you guys took that. It was super fast, but it's counter to the trend. So when I'm counter to the trend, I am careful. And I've been careful all day today. Like I said, my wins have been tiny. That 7% is the biggest I've made today. It's the biggest I've made today, but that's okay. That's okay. I don't mind taking little wins. Val got 6. Nicely done, Val. I don't mind taking little wins. They do stack up. I'm already up way past my goal today. And you guys may or may not know, my goal is 1 to 2% of my account daily after losses. So I take losses every day. You guys have seen me take them on this channel. I do take them. And I trade probably 20 or 30 times a day. So my strategy is small, consistent wins, little base hits, and they add up. They do add up. So I'm cautious, I'm careful, I'm in and out quickly. The biggest enemy of the 0 DTE day trade scalper is time. Time is your enemy. So the goal for me is always to be in and out as quickly as possible. When I see that green, I take it. See green, take green. All right, Gavilan also got 6. Jeff got 10.5. Beautiful, guys. It makes me happy that you were able to follow on that one and make money on it. And we do deal with that little delay that we talked about, 5 or 6 seconds, it looks like is what we're getting today. And so sometimes that can be a challenge when I'm in and out that quickly. That trade, you guys, was 32 seconds long. So if you followed, congratulations. That is not easy to do. To take that kind of quick trade is not easy to do, but well done for those of you who did it. Dana 11, that makes me happy. Congrats, Dana. Very nice. Glad to hear it. All right. And as you can see, because this is a counter trend trade, we already have a little, looks like the beginnings of a reversal. This is why I do not overstay my welcome. Lots of times I get traders asking me or telling me, oh, I left money on the table, I should have stayed in. I disagree. If you have a win, it's a win. Call it good. I have learned to not FOMO and, FOMO, fear of missing out, or what do they call it? ROMO, regret of missing out. I've learned to put that aside because I remain consistently profitable on these teeny little wins. Now, usually my strategy involves keeping my average wins at 8% to 10% or higher. That's what I want, but not every day can I get that. I cannot get that every day. So on days like these that are just a little tricky, a little trappy, and it actually has been now for me for several days and weeks that I've been in this very conservative, cautious mode of taking smaller wins, because it's just been a challenging market. I'm okay having a smaller day. I really, really am. The name of the game is protect your capital and keep your wins consistent. Mine are small and consistent. That's what keeps my win rate up there. So don't be afraid to leave money on the table. I leave money on the table virtually every single trade, right? Just about. You can never, here's the thing, you can never time every entry and exit perfectly. You cannot do it. It's impossible. It's impossible. Can you catch the very top and the very bottom once in a while? Yeah, if you're lucky, but nobody knows what's going to happen next. And I hear traders say it all the time. Oh, I should have stayed in. Oh, I should have stayed in. No, don't. You cannot do that to yourself. You've got the psychology is really important. And you have to learn to be happy with these consistent daily wins that I'm handing these out every day on this stream. Consistent daily wins. They're not huge, but They will keep you profitable. So learn to change the mentality a little bit. We're not swinging for the fences here. There are strategies where we are swinging for the fences. I don't utilize those strategies. You can look at swing trading. You can look at risk to reward ratios. You can do the 3-to-1 reward to risk, and then you're really swinging for fences, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just not my strategy. This is what I've developed. So I am happy with my baby wins, and usually it equates to several percent gain on my account daily. Now there's days when I take those hits, just like everybody else. I take those hits. We have them, but by and large, in the big picture, I stay profitable, and this is how. So, all right. So glad you all jumped on that. Excellent. Let's see if we can figure out what we are doing here. We're just about to hit our top for the day. We're not far off. Getting this itty bitty higher high. Look how tiny that higher high is, very small. This swing high was sitting at 669.8. This higher high at 670.5, very small higher high. Just doesn't it feel like it's just kind of going to park here between 670 and 671? It feels that way to me. We don't know yet. The day is young. We could certainly climb all day, but it feels a bit to me like we could top out here. So I'll be aware of that before I take any new calls. We're just a little too close to this high for my comfort. So, can we come up and push through it? Can we just get this slow upward grind all day? Absolutely, we can. As of right now, for me, I'm going to give this a rest on the call side, I think, until we can really break through this 671 level, if we break through it. If we hold here and pull sideways, that's where I'll be the most cautious. If we get this range, which we basically have been, right? So if you look at what happened this morning, the first thing we did is climb. Here's our high. Made our high of the day at 10:10 Eastern, and then we retreated off of it, tried to come back up here, a little look above and fail of the VWAP, boom, came up over the VWAP again, but still have not been able to hit this high. Not saying we can't, not saying we won't. I'm saying I won't trade it until we do, not to the upside. Now, if we start a push down, back down toward or through the VWAP, I might consider some puts here. We had this move right here that we just traded, right? We traded that at 11:41 Eastern, right there. We traded it right there. And it was fast, right? And that was the low of the move. So this is tricky trading here. That candle right there was the low of the move. Here we are again at the same level. The MACD getting brighter to the red side. I am going to load some more puts, but I'm not going to get in just yet. I am looking at the 670s. 670 on the put side. We do have some volume building on the put side. 670, 669, 668 are where the volume is building to. All right, that was a quick little drop there all the way to the VWAP. Very fast drop down to the VWAP. Let's see how we behave here. If we break the VWAP, I might jump in. We had a little volume push on that downward candle. We're holding the VWAP as of right this minute. VWAP is this white line here. Stands for volume weighted average price. Getting a bounce off of it. It's nothing more than a moving average that gives a little extra importance to the volume. So the VWAP is a moving average that gives some weight to the volume at the certain whatever level we're looking at. All right, bounce off the VWAP. If we break it, we might consider a put here. It's a little risky. We are rangy right now. We also have the overnight high right below us, and we have held that. Do you see this yellow line right here? We have held that. So we need to be aware of that as well. Okay, testing VWAP, testing, testing. VIX giving us a tiny pop at 23.8. Looks like it wants to break the VWAP. I don't know. There it goes. And we're right at the overnight high. If it gave us a little bounce, I would jump in. I'm going to try a quick put here, small. I'm in, punch it. Being careful here for sure. Getting a bounce. See if we drop down to that overnight high again. There we go. There's a break of the VWAP to the upside. Little battle here going on at the VWAP and the overnight high. I'd like to see it test one more time. All right, I'm out here, punch it. That's a 5% win. I think I got some slippage on that. Might have been a 4% win. And what I did is I traded this break of the overnight high. And as soon as I saw that break, boom, I popped out there. Could we come down more? Yes. Could we bounce from here? Yes. All right, here's another test of that overnight high. It's an important level. You can see how it's being respected here. This is why I don't mess around at these levels. 13, Roger. Bravo. Don't lie. You got in before I did. I know you did. I know you did, Roger. Jeff got 10. Bravo, Jeff. Well done. Very great job, everybody. And look at how it's bouncing here. This is why these trades are tricky. When you see that we're at a level that's been defended before, see it? It was defended here. Look below and fail. Look below and fail. When you are at a level that's been defended before, take your profit and get out. Get out. Okay, here's the bounce. Back up through the VWAP. And see how close the VWAP is to the overnight high. This is telling us a story. The story is this level right here is very important. The VWAP is settling right here at this overnight high. The overnight high is being defended. This is telling you this level is important. 669 is an important level. For today at least, right? Will it remain important through tomorrow? We don't know. Okay, here we go. Another test of that overnight low. If you got in and you didn't get out and you see profit right here, take it. Dana, 8%. I'm so excited. I know you have had some trades where it was hard for you to win following me, so congrats on that. Look at this, guys. Okay, nice little break here. It's going to try to hold it. Look at that. See, it's doing this pattern right here, at least right now. Let's see if it changes course. But right now, this is what it's trying to do. If we lose this bottom right here, we've got more downside. See it? Do you see where it's holding? Right here. This is our most recent swing low. And it's holding to the tick. Look at that. Line up your cursors. There it goes. Boom. Breaking the low. We're going to go test this one now. Maybe. We still could do a look below and fail. But we did just break this low right here. That's important. That's important. And this is one of those situations where you could be tempted to say, I should have stayed in. I should have stayed in. Don't do it, guys. Don't do it. All right, nice little bounce here on the VIX. And we are coming up to the end of the stream. Guys, we took several winners today. I'm so happy that you joined me. I'm happy that we took some wins today. My account is looking lovely, even though I'm telling you all day long, the highest trade I got was 7%. But I've taken, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trades today. They've all won. Fingers crossed. They don't have to. My trades don't always win. And I do take losses almost every day. So remember that. That's my parting gift to you. Take your losses. Don't let them mount. When we have these teeny little wins all day, all it takes is one big loss to wipe that out. Don't let that happen. Take little losses. All right. Roger, don't jinx it. I got my fingers crossed, Roger. I'm not jinxing it. Craig, awesome sauce. You deserve a thumbs up. Thank you so much. And Hatman made 12%. I'm so glad that you were able to follow Hatman. I'm glad you were able to join today. If I know you, tell me your name because I would love to say hello. If I don't, so happy to have you here. All right, everyone, we're at the end of the stream. We made some more lunch money. I'm happy. BD saying take care, Mel. Thank you, BD. You as well. You guys be careful today. Again, it is sideways. Even though we're getting a little bit bigger moves, this is still in essence range bound. So be careful. Be careful. Tiny wins, tiny losses. Keep your losses tiny. Don't try to hold a losing trade, right? Remember that. All right, you guys, I appreciate you all. We'll be back here 11 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day and goodbye for now.